All right. Hello. I am definitely honored to do this really quick impromptu interview with my good friend Dave Chesson. Hey, Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Dave is the creator of KDP Rocket, and it's my favorite tool to use to search for keywords for my next title, for search for keywords that have low competition, but they're very actively searched by buyers on Amazon. And Dave is the best when it comes to Amazon SEO. He knows what he's talking about. And but today, you get all that with KDP Rocket. But today, I wanted to talk about a special opportunity that we're here living in right now as book authors and publishers, and that's Amazon sponsored ads. So, Dave, can you just tell us quickly, like, what's this opportunity? Why should we be excited, and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you have a book and you want to sell it, right, the key is you need to get it in front of the right people. The reason why I love Amazon's advertisement system, right, their AMS, or like you said, sponsored products, is that when people go to Amazon and they're looking for a book, they're buyers. They're ready to buy right now. To me, I would much rather get my book in front of those people than to have to go through other advertisement systems like Facebook or, AdWords or any of that. Because in those ads, I'm trying to interrupt people from what they're trying to do, which is watch cat videos or stuff like that, and convince them to stop and then leave and come over to Amazon and make a purchase. But with AMS, though, they've already decided they want a new book. They've already decided they've got a pain point, that they want addressing, and they're ready to pay. The key is getting your book in front of them first, and AMS allows you to do that. Now, for some of those people who are used to like Google and AdWords, right, this is kind of the same thing, right? In Google, you can pay Google to put your book in front, or your website or page in front of people searching. Well, we can do that now with Amazon. So I definitely recommend that if you've got a book out there and you're saying to yourself, this is a great book, it's well written, I know people are going to love it, I just can't seem to get people to find it, then this is definitely the answer for you.
Great, great. Can you just go through a little bit of the process in like how exactly you would get your book in front of people who are actively searching for new books?
Yeah. So with the AMS ad system, okay, you can now tell Amazon, hey, Amazon, I want my book to show up for when somebody types this particular phrase into your search engine, right? And I'm willing to pay you 15 cents per click, okay? So you only have to pay Amazon if somebody sees that ad and clicks it. If somebody sees it and doesn't click it, you don't have to pay them. So once you've set your price of what you're willing to spend and what words you want your book to show up for, Amazon goes to work getting in front of people when they type those words into the search bar and hopefully getting you clicks, which gets them paid. I mean, let's face it, Amazon wants to get paid. So at that point, you've now taken away that major pain point of people aren't discovering you. Because now you and Amazon have a deal going, and Amazon's going to get your book in front of more people, and now you can finally get those sales that you've been looking for.
It's so incredible because it's almost like, sure, your title needs to be optimized, but that you're forcing people to be able to look at your book and get that exposure, that targeted exposure that all of us desire, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's two ways of getting your book in front of a market in Amazon. Either A, you have to, define your keywords, structure your title and subtitle, convince Amazon to naturally put it up there. Or you just do AMS and you say, Amazon, look, I'll pay 15 cents a click. Just put it there. I mean, now still, I love the process of the organics, right? But it's also very convoluted. It's super, it's hard. You've got to kind of tweak some things and look at things and monitor and check. With AMS, on the other hand, you're like, you can name the price. You can say, it's worth it to me, 15 cents to get that book right there. So for those of you who are kind of like, keywords, scary, then AMS is a much better route for you.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about keywords for a second. How many keywords do you need for these ads? And is it like a long manual process to kind of compile this list of keywords? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, let me start by saying one of the biggest mistakes people make with AMS is that they go in, they'll create their ad, and then they'll select like 3 or 4 words that they think really best fit their book, okay? When they do that, the people who do that find that their book doesn't even get shown. I wish that I could go into AMS and say, Amazon, just this word and then see results.
Right.
But you'll quickly find out that's just not the case. Instead, though, you need to find a lot of different things. As a matter of fact, I tell people that when you start your AMS campaign, you should have at least 200 to 300 keywords, okay? You should be, because with that, you will start to see your book actually show up, okay? Why that happens, we could go on for an hour about talking about it, but the key thing is that when you do your ad, you should definitely strive for having 200 to 300 keywords just to get your process started. Now, you may say to yourself, I can't really come up with 200 or 300 words, and that's not a problem. There's two methods to doing this, okay? The first is manually. And what you can do is you can go into Amazon and you can start looking at all the kind of words that your target market would type into Amazon. And you can do this by typing it up at the top and seeing what Amazon suggests and then adding all those to an Excel sheet. The next step is also looking at the book titles and the author names of books that show up for your particular phrase. So say, for example, your book is about how to quit smoking. You type in how to quit smoking, and then you would take the title and subtitle and the author name of all the books that show up. Then you would go even further, and you would look at like the similar books bought, and you would take all their titles and author names. Then you would go into categories, and you would take all the books and titles in those categories. Now, at that point, you'll definitely get your 200 to 300 keywords like pronto, okay? The problem, though, is that process of copy and pasting takes about an hour, maybe 2 hours to do. So that can really be hard and a pain point for a lot of people. Now, that's the one way, which is manual. The other way is, like, we talked about with KDP Rocket, I designed the software that does all that other stuff that, that Debbie had talked about, but it also quickly pulls all that data with a click of a button. Like, you type in your initial phrase, say it's how to quit smoking. You click go get a Rocket, and KDP Rocket will pull all of the suggested terms from Amazon, which is like 25 plus 30 or so of them. It will then go through and pull the book titles and the author names for all the books that show up in the results, plus the categories, and it will lay it out in an Excel sheet so you can copy and paste it right into Amazon. So one process is like hour to 2 hours. Another process is 10 seconds. And it was the reason why we created it, though, is because I do a lot of these. I do AMS ads for New York Times bestselling authors like Ted Decker and L. Ron Hubbard and his group, and I also work with like Pat Flynn, Amy Schmittauer, Aaron Walker. So I hated having to do that manually. It literally is taking me 10 hours a day to work all of their systems. Now it's like an hour a day, which is great. So we created the software to be able to do that for us and save us that time. Now, that's how you initially start your campaigns. But also very savvy AMS people know that you need to continue to do this process at least once a week so as to keep your ads going, keep them, full of life, find newer keywords that are out there, find trends and things. And once you start adding all that time together, you're saving yourselves hours a week instead of just an hour. So,
right.
Not going to lie, created the software to save me time.
It's amazing. And not only that, though, but doing something manually versus a computer program that's finding all these, these links and chains and putting everything together, that's also a huge component of all this. So, unfortunately, we're not robots and computers as of yet. So why not have them work for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's one thing that I really love too about KDP Rocket on the inside is that we have Amazon's API. So that's like a backdoor key to Amazon that gives us information that you can't find like by looking at it. And one of the things I love most is that the Amazon API actually tells us what Amazon thinks is the most relevant books and relevant subjects for your book, okay? Like for that category you just talked about. What's really awesome about this is that a lot of the advanced AMS marketers out there know that when your keyword in your book is something very relevant in Amazon's mind, your cost actually drops. So you may say, Amazon, hey, I'm willing to pay 15 cents. But if Amazon's like, well, that's a really relative term, they may only charge you 5 cents. And so what's really cool is a lot of people are finding that some of the keywords and things that AMS or that KDP Rocket is pulling are ones that are saving them a lot of money, and that's because we have that inside detail, from the API telling us what they think is the most relevant thing for you.
This is awesome. This is so impressive. I love this tool. Keep doing what you're doing, Dave. Thank you so much for bringing us this. And if you are, I definitely recommend we recommend doing AMS ads or Amazon ads. And go ahead and click the button below to get this tool that will save you hundreds of hours of your time and also does an amazing job at the keyword competition. You can check all that out on the sales page by clicking the link below. And Dave also does full training inside of how to exactly set up your ads, how to get everything sorted, where to put your keywords, and also importantly, to continue on the cycle, how to get people to actually click on your ads and convert those ads to sales. Okay, so that's all part of it too. Anything else, Dave, you want to leave? And thank you so much for doing this interview. I decided to do it outside. Hopefully the birds chirping didn't get too much in the way, but I wanted to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. The last thing I'll leave everybody with, too, is that this is a great tactic for you, even if it's a brand new book, an upcoming book, or an old book that hasn't made sales in years. You can put your old book up on AMS, revive it, and see what happens. So you saw those sales and they disappeared. Well, this is a way to bring it back from the dead. So new, old, or current, it's a great tactic to use.
Great. Thanks. Everybody get in. You need this. Thank you so much, Dave. I'll talk to you later.